So some people say that it's not good for me to call it my drunk Tanya. To put the holy Tanya together with the word drunk is very, very bad. So at least my mom said that, and she almost had a heart attack when she found out that I was doing my drunk Tanya. Um, I think I've just been cut out of my meager inheritance. So I may have to change my drunk Tanya. So I'm wondering, should it be like, how about Mile High Tanya? Oh, by the way, so I just want to say in the words of the great master, the Messiah, Rabbi Shlomo Karlebach, that blessed memory, who Shlomo lives, Od Shlomo Chai, is that you got to serve God, you got to be a little bit drunk with the love of God. So that's why I had my drunk Tanya. Also, is advertising gimmick. So, but today's my drunk Tanya is brought to you by Ruski Standard. Ruski Standard. It's the drink that the Chabad Hasidim, the Shluchim, drink. It's the drink of the Shluchim. So here we're gonna make a L'chaim. It's Yud Shvat today. Actually, it's Tet Zayin Shvat, but it's still the Hemshech of Yud Shvat Fabrengen. In where this is green flag Hasidus, green flag Chabad. You know about yellow flag? Well, I'm green flag, and in green flag the Yud Shvat is, you have a Hemshech of it, which goes a week or two, whatever. It goes until Purim. Okay. Chaim, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh b'dvoro. So I hear it. Not my drunk Tanya. We espouse responsible drinking. Always be able to bench. That means to bless, and always be able to drive a car. Okay, don't kid yourself. So it's what day are we on today? Here. Yes, we're in the 21st chapter of the Tanya. Oh, 22nd. No, we're still in the 21st. So the Tanya says, and then it goes down to the concatenations from the infinite down to the finite. And so imagine how small God has to make himself, with constriction after constriction, limitation after limitation, to actually have some connection with this world. He is infinite and endless, and we're finite beings. We're little people in the world with our little lives, but still he does. So he has to limit him. God has to limit himself to connect with the world. It's a known idea. We call it Simsumim hem bechinat hester panim, the hastir, the halim, the or, v'chiyut, nimshach, midiburo yitbarach, shelo yitgale b'vechinat gilui rav, shelo yuchlu chayotam lekabel. Because if he revealed himself completely, we wouldn't be able to receive his light. So he has to hide himself in order to reveal himself at all. Lachen gamken nidme lahem or v'chiyut dibor shel makom baruch hu amulubash behem ki'ilu hu davar muvdal. So that's why it seems why the word, the divine utterance, is separate from God, because he had to limit himself so much. Because if he revealed his, so to speak, his naked word, it would be too much to handle, and we'd burn up, and we'd be totally nullified out of existence. God's essence and God's essential being is not available to the common man. It's not available to barely anybody. Even I don't know, Moshe Rabbeinu, God had to limit himself in Dibor to Moshe Rabbeinu even. So in speech, he had to limit himself into words for Moshe to speak to him. That was a tremendous limitation. Maybe Moshe had a higher consciousness. Clearly Moshe Rabbeinu had a higher consciousness where he could connect, but still, he was Ish Elohim. He was a man. The Arizal says Ish. From the waist down, he was a man. From the waist up, he was Elohim. I mean, godlike. So, in other words, he could connect to things that the rest of the world cannot connect to. But he was a man, a human being. He was born and he died. So, So that's so anyhow. I'm saying that nobody can connect to the atzmus, the essence of God. Nobody can connect to. It's just when it's said to a person, like a person has the soul of speech engenders a word, or a thought of a word, or a word with the mouth. So, לגבי הקדוש ברוך הוא, אין שום צמצום והסתר והלם מסתיר לו מעלים לפניו וכחשכה כאורה. That with God there's no separation, there's no hiding, there's no with God there's no there's no hiding of his presence. He can take his own presence, and light and darkness are all the same before God. So this kediktiv gam choshech lo yachshik mimecha. Like, because darkness will not be dark for God. He's all light. There's no such thing as darkness by God. Mishum she'ein et simsumim v'levushim davar nifrad mimenu chas v'shalom. So because all of the limitations of godliness and all of the so to speak garments that could clothe his essential godliness, they're not something different from him. Meaning he and his limitations are one, because it all flows from one source. So he and his garments are one. The garments are flowing from him. It's just that he's covering himself until we don't see him in the world. So it's not something, God forbid, separate from God, because there's only one. So everything, the world is essentially a garment for godliness. Like it says in the Zohar and maybe the Talmud, that it's like let's say let's call it a cricket. The cricket, it's a crustacean, right? So it has a shell, it has an exoskeleton, but it's within it. It comes from within side, and it's the outside is its inside, basically. The cricket is, you look at the outside of it, that's its inside, but it's also the outside. It's dressed from within and from without. Like it says, God is Elohim. God's mercy is his judgment. It's all the same with God. So by God, everything is considered as nothing. Quoting Daniel. That's not my, according to, as far as Mom's concerned, not my drunk Tanya. We'll be back tomorrow with more of Mile High Tanya.